Yeah, yeah, all good. Yeah, so you're listening to or you're watching the Play to the Whistle podcast, and I'm here with Theo and Tanya. How you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm buzzing. Just had a Spurs win, so yeah, I'm pleased to be on the show, man. Let's get into it.
Well, so obviously watched the Liverpool Fulham game earlier, and same as usual, really at the moment for them. But that's six in a row now, six defeats in a row. And I thought it was a blip. Remember when we was talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking, oh, they'll get out of it, and everyone's bad at Christmas and
Like a bit, looking a
bad in
bit more of a
February,
yeah, man. It's
and they're
looking a
still
bit
bad
more than
now.
that now.
Yeah,
Mm.
so I don't know. What was your thoughts on the game for you?
I thought, yeah, I thought it was a good game. I thought it was a game that Jurgen Klopp needed to make changes. I don't know if I'd made 7 changes all at once because I feel that's a lot of changes. And yeah, I would have probably put Fabinho in midfield. I think he was missing today. Um, but it was good for Fulham. I'll start with the pluses. Let's start with the good things first. So obviously Fulham's first win, I think since 2012. Um, like you said before, Liverpool 6 home defeats on the bounce now. Um, I think they've lost to, is it Brighton, City, Everton, Chelsea, and now Fulham as well, Burnley. Yeah, so there's some points that they've dropped in now, and obviously it's not like Liverpool. They, I think they went what 68 games unbeaten before this mad run that they're on now. So yeah, the 7 changes. I don't know if I'd have made them. I'm not a big fan of Nico Williams, but I understand why he did that because obviously, like we said on here millions of times before, Trent going forward is amazing. Defensively, he's not the best. Um, I thought Nathaniel Phillips and Reese Williams were the obvious choices in the back. James Milner, I don't know if I'd have started him. His legs for me have gone, so he's at the end of his career now. And in a game where Fulham are hungry, they want to win. They're gonna throw everything at you. Do you really want a old James Milner, a vet James Milner playing? But I thought Naby Keita was good to see him back and Shaqiri Jota. Um, they made their mark on the game. But it was all Fulham the first half. I thought Fulham played really well. Adamola Lookman had about 3 or 4 chances in the first half. He was running rings around Nico Williams, and this is why he's been hooked at half time and before in previous games because he's just I don't think mentally. I think maybe he needs to go on loan or he needs to play his football elsewhere for a bit and just develop that part of his game because I feel like it was easy for Lookman just to like, that's what Fulham are looking for, the overhead ball, playing it through to Lookman, and it was working. He was unlucky that he didn't score, from that. But is it Josh Meyer?
Yeah, Maja. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he had a good chance as well in the first half, and well played by Allison. He saved it well. But for the goal, boy, I don't know. I don't know where to start because, um, yeah, I think Robertson's got to do better. I can't remember who took the free kick for Fulham, but it's bread and butter for Robertson. He's a well thought of left back. He knows how to get rid of the ball. He just didn't do enough. He kind of like half-heartedly headers it, doesn't really clear it. Salah's got to do better. I know he's not a defender, but he's strong. Do you know what I mean? We know the strength that Salah poses and the threat that he is going forward. But defensively, you hold up the ball, you just kick it out. If you don't know what you do, you know what I mean. If you're not sure, you just got to get rid of the ball anyhow, get it out for a throw and whatever. So he was kind of just obviously that attacking mindset was visible to see from Salah. But I thought Fulham before the goal they played well. They deserved it. They had their chances. Um, yeah, Jota I think had a couple of chances where he could have. I mean, the thing with Liverpool today, they didn't really have any clear cut chances. They didn't, for me, they didn't have any chances where you kind of think, right, they might score from this. There was none of that for Liverpool today, and that's unlike, we spoke about Liverpool in the past on here and how well they are pressing and the intensity that they play, but that fizzled out. That's gone now. That we're looking at a Liverpool team that are really really struggling. So yeah, overall, I think No, we've got to be honest.
He's
Like,
loving it. He's loving
No,
it.
no. Do you know what? I'll say what I'll say. What did you think of the game, Tanya?
Um, do you know what? I actually saw Fulham getting a result just because of the way they played against us. I felt they were so unlucky in that game. I felt they were the better team on the day, and the goal that got disallowed, that's never a handball in my opinion. And I've always said I think Scott Parker's doing a brilliant job. I think they play really good football, and obviously Liverpool are not in a good place right now. They're breaking records, but in a very negative way.
Yeah.
They've obviously had bad injuries, but I do think it's bigger than the injuries now. I think you are suffering from burnout, and players like Sadio Mane just haven't been at it. So, oh, can you guys hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought like I went quiet for a second there. Yeah. So players like Mane haven't been at it. Firmino, obviously, he didn't play today. I don't know if he's injured. But yeah, on the game it was, yeah, a bit disappointing from Liverpool. But I don't know, man. It's just one of those things, really. People are saying that it's probably the worst, like, reigning champions, like the worst champions in history. I don't know about that, but I mean, it's looking like they might not even get Europa League at the moment because we've won tonight. I know we'll go on to that game in a bit, but I don't know. I feel sorry for Klopp because I do think the injuries have cost them this season because it's definitely affected their midfield, and of course, like, you've got the two new players that you signed, the defenders. They're both not even playing, so it's just massively unlucky for Liverpool. Really, really unlucky. But as I say, I do think majority of it is just burnout and players that usually do perform just aren't performing. It's that simple. But credit to Scott Parker because I was buzzing for Fulham. I can't lie. Like, I want them to stay up so bad.
No, I have to. I'll start with them definitely because I think I wrote them off at the start of the season. I didn't even see them getting 10 points, to be honest with you. And especially the way that they started the season, I thought, yeah, it's going to be curtains for them. But when he switched it to a back three, they obviously signed Anderson. And who's the other centre back that they signed? The one that's in the back three with them. Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. But since he's come in, they've like since they switched to a back three, they played really well. And they're really resolute and they set up to play on the break. And I don't think they've not even conceded that many goals in the last 6 games either. I think only they were saying today, I think it was only Man City that have conceded less goals than them in the last 6 games. So they've been really playing well. So it's not really a shock that they got the result. And it's not a shock that the way that they played. You know that they're going to recover the ball, get it into Loftus-Cheek, into Lookman and Cavallero quickly and like play for the break. But in terms of Liverpool, I think, yeah, but one factor is definitely burnout. They don't have the biggest squad, as we've always known. And it's like what we said before, like the last couple of seasons, they've been so lucky with injuries and so lucky with form. Not lucky with form, but mainly with injuries. And that's all like come crashing down on them this season. And the players that they have to come in for replacements not done it. And I think it's a mixture of that. And then obviously the other main thing is confidence. I think whoever you are, whoever you are football wise, if your confidence is shot to pieces, then you can't really even do the basics right, or you can't even do what you're good at. And that's what we're seeing with Liverpool now. Like some of their players that are renowned for, like what you're saying with Trent. Trent's great going forward. He's not been great going forward lately. Robertson's not been that good on the other side. Mane's not been at it, like you said. I think it's just loads of different factors, but that's a bit of the burnout thing, confidence. But as you see with Man City, if they have enough players to rotate, go like for like, then they wouldn't really be in this problem and this situation
Mm,
that they're in. Because, City could play one team that they played today. Granted, I know obviously the result, but they could switch it up next week and they'll be fine. And you won't really notice a difference in the style of play or anything.
mm.
So,
No, it's so
but,
true.
I know some Liverpool fans are a bit like over the top and some might be saying some mad stuff like Klopp out and all all that silliness.
Oh no,
But
that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
yeah, but there is some that would probably be saying that. But if they are, then they just need to.
I mean, to be fair, you have to say it is sackable form. Like to
Mm,
lose 6 home games. Like if Jurgen Klopp didn't have the credit that he has in the bank, I
yeah,
don't know.
definitely,
Maybe you could
it's
say they've got an
sackable.
argument,
Yeah,
100%. But I do worry for Liverpool next season. I know obviously the likes of Van Dijk and Gomez will be back, but I'm looking at teams like City and Chelsea, for example. You know, they're rumored to get the likes of Haaland. I don't know. I feel like there are teams around them that are getting better. I don't know if Liverpool, we're starting to see like a proper decline. Who knows? I just don't think their owners are going to spend big unless they sell some of their key players like Salah perhaps, because if they don't get Champions League, they might have to consider that for sure.
No,
yeah.
it's a big loss.
It's
It's
a
a
big
big loss.
yeah.
Financially, it's a big loss, and I know clubs like Liverpool don't really rely on that kind of money. It's obviously beneficial for them to be in the Champions League financially, but yeah, I just think for me, I think that's probably why the changes happened today in terms of the seven. He's probably got one eye on Leipzig on Wednesday. I think they've got them. Um, has he got that in the back of his mind, thinking that's going to be the golden ticket to give a bit of glory back to Liverpool fans this season by trying to win the Champions League again? Um, Personally, I don't think they can do that because I think there's better teams in the Champions League still. Um,
I think in the Champions League, as you know, it's just one-off games, isn't it? I think they can still go far in that. But in terms of making the changes, I think when you've been losing that many games, I think you do need to make changes. Like whether seven was too many, but you
mm,
need to show players that when they're out of form that they can be dropped,
you're not
and that there's
untouchable. Yeah.
there's consequences for playing this badly, isn't it? So
Mm,
I'm not against the changes because if he won today, then we would have like been saying, oh, he's right to chop
No, I
seven
think I
players, isn't
think
it?
Liverpool fans have been calling for that anyway. I think a lot of Liverpool fans have been criticising the team that he has been putting out for those reasons that they haven't been playing well. Obviously, he's got his defense, his two key defenders out still, centre backs. But you bring in players in Ben Davies and Kabak. If you're bringing them in to replace two of your centre backs, you've got to play them. Otherwise, why have you brought them in? And
I think
Ben
I think
Davies hasn't even featured. I don't think he's not even on the
Yeah.
bench for Liverpool.
no,
So
but I think with that situation, I think he don't trust them yet. Like he's probably seen them in training, and they're just not where he needs them to be yet. So he's not going to throw them in. Like
that's my
because
point
and
though
he
as well.
he takes
Go on.
long with a lot of players. Remember when he signed Robertson? I think
Mm.
Robertson was on the bench for most of the first season he went there, and same with Oxlade Chamberlain.
Mm.
He's very like
I think
slow
they're
with
different
bedding
though.
them in.
I think they're different though because he had players that he could actually rely on in the team at the time. Whereas he can rely on Fabinho, he can rely on Henderson, but he's now injured. He hasn't time's not on his side this time. I don't think. I don't think he's got that kind of luxury of embedding players in, and I think that's the right thing to do, not just to throw them straight in, but when you kind of brought them in because you're at panic stations, you got to kind of give them the opportunity. He can't be any better, any worse than. And I'm not even criticizing Nathaniel Phillips. 'Cause I think he played really well, and Reece Williams. I thought they're two good players, but I just think you've brought these two players in, give them an opportunity. That would have been a good day, I think, today to play them against Fulham. But yeah, man,
But that's what I'm
like,
saying. Maybe in training he's just not at it yet. Like,
Yeah, must
otherwise, I
be.
think he would have been
probably.
playing already. But we'll
Yeah,
have to
no, I
see what
agree.
happens in
I
the
agree.
Leipzig game and whether he should be there at the end of the season. But we'll see. We'll see.
But just before we move on, I just want to say, obviously, fair play to Fulham because I'm pretty sure they were 10
They're on
points from
26
safety.
point. They're on
Oh,
26
They're on
points
20.
I'm
now.
buzzing for them. I
They've
swear,
done.
I'm a
Yeah,
Fulham fan.
yeah.
I'm a Fulham fan.
Now, who's above them? Is it Brighton? I think they're on the same points as Brighton now. I
Yeah,
think
Yeah,
because
and
same
Fulham
points.
Newcastle
and
drew
Newcastle.
today. Yeah,
Yeah,
with West
Exactly. So
Brom.
it's
yeah.
interesting. It's
Mm.
interesting. It's interesting, and I'm
I,
pretty
I'm
sure they've. Sorry, go on.
no, I'm just absolutely shocked. Like, I'm not gonna pretend to like have expected this. I didn't.
No,
Like, I
I
thought they were
didn't.
done and out, and he has done a great. Whatever happens, I think Parker's done a very good job, man. Like, because
Mm.
yeah, I wrote them off, and I have to be honest with that.
Do you
And
No,
know who?
I
Do you
what?
know who they've got on the final day?
Oh, I don't know. Who've they got? Do you
you
know?
know,
Newcastle.
ooh,
No. Oh, that's That's gonna
That's
be
a big game.
tasty.
That's a big game.
Tasty game, man.
Oh, do you
That's a
know
Yeah.
big
what?
game.
I hope Fulham stay up. Like teams like Sheffield United, glad to see the back of them. Brighton, even like from when you're missing 2 penalties, for me, you deserve to go down in it. Like, and Burnley, I wish
Yeah,
Burnley could go as well. Like, I'm sick of teams like that. Like Fulham, for me, they play good football. They've got young players. Scott Parker, young manager. I like it. I want them to
Mm.
stay up, man. Fingers crossed they do anyway.
yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah,
Defo.
Brighton versus Leicester. So, Tanya, what was your thoughts on this game?
I mean, I didn't watch much of this game, I'm not gonna lie, but I did see like some of the highlights and stuff. I mean, just in general on Leicester, I don't know about them, I don't know if I trust Leicester because they've got it in them, yeah. Whenever they get to the point where, right, top four's properly on, right, they just seem to bottle it. And I don't know, like, I feel like Brendan Rodgers is a bit of a bottler. I know they've had major, major injuries this season, but I don't know, I don't trust them. And I feel like when they do get key injuries, is their squad strong enough? I'm not so sure. But they got the win. Good goal by Iheanacho as well. Tillemans playing well. Um, I think they do obviously miss Madison, Barnes. Hope Barnes recovers quickly because I really rate him. I want him to be in that England squad. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
he's
too
been
sure
quality
about
this season.
Leicester. I think Leicester have, like I say, a really good starting 11. It's just I think when the injuries come, you start to notice that actually maybe they're not as strong as you think. But no, it was a big
So
win, and Brighton, as always, like they're just they get chances, but they can't seem to score sometimes, innit? They just
I think the
I
mad
don't
thing with
know.
Brighton, I've never seen. There's not many teams in the league that create as many chances as them and miss them
So
like constantly.
many,
Like
so
when you
many.
watch when you watch their games or you watch highlights, you think like, how are you not creating this many chances? You can't put anything away. Like it's
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 mad.
it's crazy. But so, do you think Leicester will get top four?
I think they'll miss out. I really do,
You think
but
they'll miss out?
I think it's the injuries, but I do also think there's a mentality thing. I think they do have, and this is rich coming from me, an element of bottle jobness in them. Like there's something about Brendan Rodgers, yeah, and Leicester. They seem to bottle it, but I think they might just miss out because I'm looking at City. They're definitely winning the league. Man United, for me, I think they're going to get second or third. Then you've got Chelsea, and in the fourth spot, they're obviously still in the conversation, but I don't think they're guaranteed it at the moment. I can't decide who will get top four, but I
Mm.
don't think you can defo say it's them because I'm looking at Everton now. You can't write off West Ham, can't write off Spurs now. So it's interesting, but I wouldn't say they guaranteed it. No, I don't think so. That's just me anyway.
Yeah, I thought I thought no, I thought around January, I thought that they were going to get top
Yeah,
four, and
100%.
I still think that they might get top four. But I think the only issue with them, like you said, is injuries. But I think they're fine if they get injuries anywhere. I think they're
Mm,
fine, except if they get them up front. I think that's the
yeah.
problem. If
Yeah,
Vardy
it's a big
stays
loss.
fit, yeah, if Vardy stays
Mm,
fit, then I think they would get top four. Because I think if they get injuries in midfield, they've dealt with them. Barnes is injured now. Madison was injured before. They kind of dealt with it. Mendy can come in there, and Didi. I know he
I
played
do
at the
like
back,
DD. Mm,
but he can obviously play in midfield as well, and they've got good centre backs as well. So I think they can pretty much handle injuries except a long term Vardy injury. So if they don't get that, I feel as though they can do enough to get top four.
I hope
But
they
we have to
don't.
see.
I think a lot of this though as well is just out of who did they have in Europe? Was it Braga? They got knocked out by.
Prague, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Slavia
Yeah,
Prague, yeah.
so Slavia Prague, sorry. So um yeah, I feel like that's just like kind of like the backspill of that. I feel like they're just in this little slump at the moment. Because before that I think they were on a good run of games. I don't think they'd lost in 6 or 7 games. I think they drew like 2 out of them 7. So I feel like I agree with you though, Tanya. I do feel like if I look at that table and I think which team out of that 4 that's in there now, which one is more likely not
Mm,
to make top 4, I'd have to
Mm.
say Leicester.
mm.
Um, I think
But
Liverpool. Sorry, go on.
wouldn't you say though, because they've got knocked out the Europa League, you're
Yeah,
still in
that's gonna
Big
Champions
be
League,
kick on.
yeah.
Spurs are
Mm,
still in
Yeah,
Europa League.
but I
Wouldn't
think
you
you hit the
say
nail
that?
on the head. I think that their squad isn't big enough to cope with the run of games that they've got now, and that's why they couldn't kick on in the Europa League as well. I think hopefully, and I'm talking kind of from a biased perspective, I've always do on here anyway. But I feel like Chelsea's squad's good enough to cope with
Yeah.
both Champions League. But I
Annoyingly.
said no. But I said before we started recording, I said I don't think we'll win our home leg against Atletico anyway. So that could be a blessing in disguise for us if we don't get in it. You know, if we don't kick on. And I think this season for
Yeah.
us is all about rebuilding and making sure that the squad that we have going into next season we can improve and we can embed the players that we've got this season as well, like Havertz, Werner, Ziyech. Obviously, we're getting the best out of Mason Mount at the moment, but there's still a lot to do in terms of that for Chelsea perspective. Liverpool, Everton. I mean, I'd like to see Everton in the top four. If I'm honest, again, from being living in Liverpool, but
I think,
um,
I think like they've all still got to play each other as well. Like we've still got to play Leicester. We still have to play Spurs. Like they've all still got to play each other. So there's still a lot of big games coming up, man. But yeah, the last couple results that they've had, and last obviously Spurs results have been good. Chelsea are back into it, so that whole top four race has
It's
turned into
so
it's
mad.
turned
It
into a
makes me
fight now that
it's so
it's
mad.
turned into a fight I wasn't even expecting. Like even a couple weeks ago, like you lot were down and out, and now you
Yeah.
lot are back in there. So, but no, I think Leicester have had a good season. I think if they can just ride out these injuries and keep getting results like they did today, I think they should be fine, man. I think they could do it.
I think
And
I
like I
think we
said
got
to you before, sorry, like I said to you before, I feel as though without COVID last season, I think they would have got top four as well. I just think they just struggled with the restart because before the restart they were flying, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see
Yeah.
anyway.
yeah. I think we got to remember as well that their squad, when you look at the other squads around them, isn't actually the best on paper. They've got good players. They haven't got a good squad,
Yeah.
Leicester.
That's what
But
I
I
agree with
think,
that as well.
but that's the apart from Chelsea, I think that's the rest of the top four race though, because Everton's squad's not all that. West Ham,
Better than Leicester's, I think, though. I wouldn't, no,
what
West Ham, okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
But
you think? You think
Everton over
Everton's?
Leicester,
Nah, I don't think
minus
so.
the goalkeeper, minus
Yeah,
Pickford,
no, yeah, I think so. I'd agree
Ben
with
Do
that.
you
Godfrey, I'd
reckon?
take him, Luca Dina.
I'll take all
Yeah.
Leicester centre backs.
Me too, mate.
Yeah,
Me
and
too.
Tillman's.
Okay,
No,
but
I
you know
think
what I mean? Around
yeah,
like City, United, Chelsea, Liverpool, when on their day, even Tottenham, United, all of these clubs have not saying they've spent large amounts of money because Leicester has spent as well. But what I'm saying is, I think that they shouldn't. For me, they're always overachieving. They shouldn't be like even in that conversation really of like even making Champions League football. Really, when
yeah.
you think about it, because the other clubs should be dominating. But I think I
That's
kind of get your
Brendan.
point, Tanya.
I think that's
I was about
Brendan
to say,
though.
I was about to say, I
But
kind of get your point that they kind of bottles it, but then at the
They
same time,
do.
but then he
but
churns out these mad things of getting like
yeah,
Champions League and stuff like that as well.
yeah, because they've got no right to be where they are. But I feel like part of
That's what
that
I mean.
reason that they are there is definitely because of Brendan. Like
Mm.
you know when the different selections he does sometimes, the way he tactically beats managers. I think that's why they are where they are at the moment. But
No,
that
but
top four race is
from how they bottled top four last season though, like I can't lie, like
You love
from
that word,
then,
innit?
yeah, I know it's just stuck with me. Like, do you expect from when they bottled top four last, like weren't they like something like 13 points ahead or something crazy like that? And
yeah
they
about
didn't end up
15.
getting it. Like, come on, I have to. Serious questions have to be asked there for me. But anyway,
Mm.
they're doing well. They're doing well. So
Yeah, no. I think now, for me, I think, like I said, I think they're the only team. When I look at them, I think, yeah, they might not actually make top four. For me personally, I think Everton will kick on. I think they've got a good manager with Ancelotti there. Um, yeah, hopefully they don't beat us tomorrow. I think we've got them at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Um,
ooh, that might be a
yeah,
tough test for you guys.
it's a big game. We're at home. We're at home, so I think we should hopefully. If it was at Goodison, I'd be panicking because we haven't got the best record at Goodison, but we're at the Bridge, so we should beat them. But
Can't
It'll be a
wait for it.
test though.
another, an,
I think with Everton and Leicester at the moment, well, once Barnes is back, they're very good on the counter, aren't they? And
yeah,
Everton
that's it,
can
man.
go back to front quick as well. So that'll be tough tomorrow. I think it'll be a tough game, but
Mm.
Mm.
yeah, that top four race is wide open, man. It's going to be entertaining, and a lot of them teams have to play each other. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's
Look,
happening, man.
he's smiling because he knows what's coming up next.
Yeah, I know he's excited. He can't wait. He can't wait.
No, do you know what? No, do you know what? Yeah, this is one of them games that you're just relieved. It's not even that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just I'm. No, I'm just relieved, man. Like, cause it could have been anything today, innit? But
Do you know
I
what?
don't
With
know.
United, no, go on, go on. You go
No,
first.
you can start.
It's,
You can start, man.
no, I was just gonna say that I knew you were winning this. I had a feeling. I said it before we went on air, yeah, that Ollie always finds a way to win. When he's under pressure, you just know he's gonna pull it out of the bag. But with United, where are these performances against Crystal Palace? Like, if I was a United fan, I'd be happy. But looking at the bigger picture, I'd be like, why are you not playing like this all the time? Because I thought it was a brilliant performance today. I can't lie.
Hmm.
I thought it was outstanding from United today. I really, really do. Man City had no answers whatsoever. It was crazy.
No, I think like we talk about this all the time though. Like,
Mm.
I think he's hit his ceiling. Like, this is his ceiling. He can play
Mm,
counter-attacking football. All the
yeah.
all the boys are playing for him. Obviously, the atmosphere is very good in the squad right now, and they're all working hard for him. But that is the ceiling. Like, we can play like that because City give you the space to play counter-attacking football.
True.
And so we're always going to be good in games like that. When you play Palace are just going to get everyone behind the ball. They're going to
Yeah,
be
Stifle
hard
it
to
and
break
resolute,
down.
and they're going to be hard to break down, and they're going to play for the counter attacks as well. Same way as how we play. So that's why we always struggle in games like that. And then we don't have a plan B, so we can't
Mm,
break teams down. We can't move the ball. We don't play good football. So we're always going to struggle in matches apart from games like today. But
mm.
when the counter attack clicks like it did today, then you can't even complain really. But yeah, it's a great
Talk us through the
performance.
goals.
Yeah, it was a good performance, and like I feel, especially with the penalty, like that's why we win penalties because we get the ball, and when we get it on the edge of the area, we run at defenses. So
Mm.
you're
I
not
didn't
going to
see
get.
the tackle. Was it a pen? Because I didn't see it.
Yeah,
Like
so
literally,
yeah,
he was
Yeah,
it's
it was
turning it on.
Jesus,
Was it
man.
a
yeah,
clear
So
pen? Yeah.
Jesus.
clumsy. So clumsy.
He gave the ball away, and by the way, I was surprised that he even started, but yeah, he gives the
Mm.
ball away and he just tries to get it back, and he should have just left it. He shouldn't have been trying to tackle Martial in that position where he was, and it was just clumsiness, and it was a stonewall penalty. Really, it didn't even need VAR or anything like that. It was just you could see straight away from open play it was a
Did they
penalty.
VAR it as well?
Yeah, they had to, but it didn't need it. You know,
You know what
no
I
one was
think about them
complaining.
already.
Yeah, and then obviously Bruno puts it away as he does, and
Man like Hernandez. Come on.
Hernandez, isn't it?
listen, he gets it done. He gets it
No, he
done,
does.
and we could add a few more chances. To be fair, in the first half, quite a few counter attacks. Rashford had another chance. Um, I think Martial had another chance as well in the
I thought he
first
Martial
was
was
man
half.
of
good
the match.
today.
He got man of the match, didn't he?
Yeah, he got
He
man
got
of
Yeah,
the
he
man
match.
of
did
the match.
today.
He
I
was
think he
quality
played well
today.
today, man. He was a
Yeah,
good
he
game
played
for him.
well. Second half, obviously, they had a shot. I think Dean Henderson throws it out to Shaw. Shaw obviously chests it round Cancelo and just makes a run into the opposition area, plays it into Rashford, continues running, and Rashford gives it back, takes a nice touch, puts it across the keeper. It's a good finish. So,
Mm.
but I think Luke Shaw deserved that as well because he played brilliant again today.
Oh,
And
he has
he's
to be like one of the best left backs in the league this season. I can't lie.
yes,
Like,
it's
I'm so
Yeah,
pleased for Luke
understandable.
Shaw. I
yeah,
Mm.
hated the way Jose Mourinho treated him. Like, I thought it was so unfair of him.
yeah,
And yeah,
definitely.
I'm really pleased for Luke Shaw. He's been so good this
Mm.
season. Really has.
Yeah, he's another one that's kind of surprised me this season. Really, he's really
Mm.
surprised me because I thought when we signed Telles, I thought yeah, we're just gonna go with him now. Because
Mm.
I
Mm.
thought Shaw was okay towards the end of last season, but I did think we needed a left back. So when we got one,
Mm.
I was like, yeah, okay, let's see what happens. But look,
I think that was the spark he needed as well,
it's
though, Luke
yeah,
Shaw, wasn't it? To see
it
someone
was a kick up the arse he
competing.
needed, man. Like he's
Mm.
Yeah,
woken up now.
competition.
Yeah,
Mm.
Mm.
competition's made him really work hard, and he's improved, and he's doing all the things that he wasn't doing last season. Like he's running in behind now, he's running into space. You know, because sometimes I think the problem for us with both fullbacks was they're not attacking like the final third,
Mm,
so they're not taking runners out of play. They're not
yeah.
occupying anybody. So it was just like our wingers are having to beat 3 or 4 players to
Mm.
make something happen. Whereas now he's getting down the left. He's now a threat. He's now a problem. So yeah, he's been brilliant, man. And yeah, I was the thing I was surprised about with City today was obviously no one expected us to win, but
Mm.
when he didn't start Fernandinho and when he started Jesus, that was when I looked at the team and thought, okay, I don't mind that because Jesus's
Mm.
movement is predictable. I know he works hard.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll press and he'll run in behind and he'll run channels and he'll do all that stuff. But I feel as though when they've got the ball, if they was playing with say Mahrez as the false nine like they have been lately, or even Bernardo Silva, I think that unpredictability would have killed us today. Because in all the
It's
games that
harder to
I've
pick up the runs, isn't it?
yeah, in all the games I've watched them lately where they played well, it's with the false nine. Where they're
Mm.
dropping into
Mm.
midfield, Gundogan's running in behind them, they're switching over, Foden's going out to the left and switching with the right. It's so unpredictable that it's hard to stop. Whereas now, when it's Jesus up front, he's just gonna make the runs a striker makes, and
Mm.
it's easier to defend against. So,
I thought
but yeah,
KDB was off it today as well. Like
He
mm,
was,
a
man.
few passes just weren't coming off for him, and yeah, I was quite surprised with his performance, to be honest with you.
Mm.
yeah.
Obviously,
But he,
everyone, Man United fans will be making that comparison with him and Fernandez. They're probably
not
thinking Fernandez was better
Don't
on the
don't
day
even
today.
don't give him any
no,
ammunition, man. He doesn't need
Yeah, no.
no. I don't. I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not one of them fans that do that, man. Like I know De Bruyne's serious in it, but like he's
Mm,
come back from injury as well, so he's
yeah.
still a bit rusty. But yeah, there's if it's between them two, obviously De Bruyne is different league to him. But no, Bruno didn't even really play that well today either. He was off it as well. He's
Mm,
been off it for a few
mm,
weeks. I think he's burnt out, and
yeah.
it's interesting
of
today.
football, hasn't he? Like he doesn't really miss games, or he doesn't really get
No,
benched or nothing like that, does he?
no, he needs a rest, and
Mm.
you can see it in the way he's playing.
Mm.
But I think the other problem that was really winding me up today was
Fred.
Fred and McTominay in there. Oh my god!
I knew he was gonna
McSauce.
say that.
Listen,
McSauce, man.
listen, they were playing like they was on ice skates. Like
Nah, I don't mind
they were
McTominay, but Fred
Yeah,
was in a different
Fred.
no,
game. He wasn't at the
yeah,
Etihad today. He was
McTominay
at the Old
was
Trafford.
McTominay wasn't good today, but Fred was dreadful. And
Mm.
like
Yeah, he
they were
was.
covering the ball, giving it away, then getting it back. There was one I can't remember if it was the first half or second half where he literally Fred recovered the ball and then gave it away in like the same second, then got it back. And it's like this is nonsense.
Oh,
Like, and he was scuffing his passes and he was conceding fouls and Fred's got a lot of energy, but in the long term, I don't think Man United could win anything with him and McTominay in there together.
no.
It's not going to work. That needs to be sorted out in the long term, 100%. But I think apart from them two, I think everyone else is pretty much all right. Henderson has to stay in goal as
Mm.
well. I thought he played well today.
I was
Oh
just about to
yeah,
ask you.
man.
I was just
He
about
was
to ask you
great.
about him.
Yeah, he
I
didn't
was
have
gonna
much
say.
to do,
So
but
is
when he did
De
have
Gea's not?
work to
Is he
do,
injured, De Gea?
no, he's on maternity leave, basically. Because they're saying he's injured, but he went back to Spain because his missus had the baby on Thursday. So I think he's gone back to
Oh,
he's gone back to
Oh, okay.
Spain. So and apparently like
You may as well
there
stay
was
there now,
there
innit?
was
Since
rumors
Henderson's
that
took his
there was
jersey, man.
rumors that he's supposed to be there for longer than he is, but we'll see. But I want Henderson in goal anyway,
So he'll
so
have to quarantine when he comes back, though, innit?
yeah,
He'll have to quarantine and all that, I think,
yeah. So
won't
he
he?
probably
yeah,
got him
yeah.
for a while then. No,
But
I like
apparently,
Yeah.
Henderson.
apparently with the I don't know if it's with all the footballers if they've got to go. I think quarantine can be shortened to 5 days if they get rapid
True.
testing. So we'll see. But
Ah, okay.
I'm alright with Henderson in
You,
goal. Like
you didn't miss him anyway. You didn't miss him
no, no,
anyway,
no,
so it's
no. He
calm.
would have. You know what I think of him anyway. If he's in goal, might not want today, innit? But no, no, we played well, man. Apart from I'd say apart from Fred
I don't know though.
and
I just
Bruno, I think apart from them lot in there, everyone else played alright. I was happy with everybody else
mm,
today. Even
mm,
James worked hard, and Marshall was amazing up
Did man.
front today.
very good, very good. But I was gonna
Yeah,
say on City though, do you know what? It reminded me of their Arsenal game. They only won 1-0 when they could have had about five. I feel like City today, they just they weren't clinical today for me. I
No.
felt like Sterling. Like I see
Off
people
the
on Twitter
pace.
saying this is why Kane didn't square it to him. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know. He was frustrating me today. And I also feel like Foden should have come on a lot earlier for me, because you could tell he was getting at players. He was proper impacting the game, but I just felt it was a bit too late. But I don't think
It
City
means
are gonna
something to
care.
Foden as well, innit? It means a bit more to him, obviously being
Yeah,
local, and he should have probably started. I think you're right. He
I
should have
think he should have
started.
But
started.
that's,
Yeah.
but I agree, and that's who I was expecting to start, and I was expecting
Mm,
Mahrez to be in the false nine, and had that been the starting like front three, then we would have been in trouble. Because as soon as he came on, he's recovering the ball, he's driving at us, and then
mm,
he's making runs in the box. I was shocked that he was on the bench,
yeah.
but you know
Buzzing.
they'll be
21. Is
fine.
it coming? Yeah.
No, no, not anytime soon, man. Not anytime soon. But look, I'm relieved to not be
Kiva,
embarrassed
I know what
today.
you're
So
doing. I know what you're doing. You're playing it
uh,
down, and when you close the gap a bit more, you're gonna go, "Oh yeah, we can't." And you're gonna get to like 6 points, and then you're gonna go, "Oh yeah, yeah, we can win it now." Innit? You're
no,
doing
no,
the
no,
subtle
no,
thing. I like it.
no. I'm not with the setup and how it is and how we are in the other games. Like we're
No,
not
it's
good at
true.
breaking teams down. We still need moments to win games. We still don't play well enough in those games to do damage really in the league, and
Mm.
that's our first win in a top six game this season. So
Mad.
exactly that's what I'm saying. It's a non like we'll see, but
Hmm.
relieved.
What would you say in the summer? Because obviously, Ollie's doing a good job with what he's got at the moment in comparison to. I know, no. I know what you've just said, and I know like you're pulling that face, but I mean, you're second in the league. Now you can't lie. Like you're second in the league, 54 points. Like he's doing
Mm.
something right. Whether we want to say that he could do more, he's not the right guy or whatever, whatever. But he's still got Man United second in the league above Chelsea, Liverpool, all of these other clubs. What do you think
Yeah,
United then? What do you think United, not Ollie? What do you think United need in the summer to push
what
on potentially to compete for the league?
we still need too much. Like
Mm,
I said, Fred centre mids, yeah, and the
mm,
centre backs and the goalkeeper, like all of that. Basically, half the spine is still a problem. So
Mm,
Maguire and Lindelof with De Gea is not going to win you anything. Then you need someone. We need to replace Matic because what
mm,
he's good at or what he done in his first season is what we need in centre midfield right now. Someone that can recover the ball, intercept, but they can also play,
mm.
and that's what we're also missing. Like, because yeah, they can recover the ball, but when they get the ball, it's chaos. Like they can't pick out passes. They just give it away. Like they play like they're on fire. Do you know what I mean? Like they're
Well,
always panicking.
you can always take some of our centre backs if you want. Davinson
Uh,
Sanchez,
no,
Eric Dyer.
no, you're good, man. You're good. We need, but yeah, we that's what we need, and I think if we can sort those positions out, we could be in the conversation, and we need a right winger as well. So we still need too much to be in that
Uh,
conversation to win the league, but
I think
and
you'll
then
resolve
that's
some of them in the summer though as well. I don't think, I'm not
Mm,
saying all of them, them issues will be resolved, but I think after the season you've had, it looks like you're going to get second or third. But I think second,
mm,
I think the club will spend a bit of money and they'll address some of them issues. I think Henderson's definitely probably gonna probably keep the hair out the team. If not this
mm.
season, definitely next season if he has a good preseason and whatnot. But I think the hair's probably not declining,
he's
but he's
declining.
definitely on.
It's okay. It's okay to say that. Like he's been declining for the last 2 seasons now. He's not. It's
Yeah,
not. It's not just this season. He's poor last season in games,
mm,
and it's the same mistakes as well. He gets beat his near post. He's not commanding. He doesn't come for like crosses. He's not good at corners. It's just the same stuff, you know.
but
But
you got a good
I
goalkeeper in
think
Henderson, I think.
no. I like
Mm.
Henderson, but I just think with our
Mm,
centre backs, I don't think with what we've got at the moment that we can challenge for anything. We scored the most goals in the. I think we're second now, but we scored like second highest amount of goals in the league, and we've
mm.
conceded what 30
Yeah, it's
plus.
ridiculous.
That's
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
34, I think, or something
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that.
that's
34. It's a
mad.
joke. you know. So it doesn't matter how many goals you can score if you're conceding that many. So we
Mm,
have to sort out the centre backs, the goalkeeper situation, and a DM before we talk about. Because I know everyone wants we need a number 9 and we need attacking players, but we scored enough goals to be where City is.
mm.
But City have
It's true.
Diaz and they've got Laporte and
And Stones.
Edison and
Ake
Stones.
as well. Their fourth
Yeah,
choice, you know,
yeah,
fourth
that's what I'm
Shit, I
choice.
saying.
forgot about Ake, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
So that's the difference between they play obviously much better football, but in terms of goals, we've done enough to be where we are, but it's just
Mm,
we concede too many. So
mm.
Mm.
It's true, man. Should we put Tanya out of misery and talk about tonight's game? It was a good game. What did it end up? Because I didn't watch it to the end. Was it
4-1.
4-1 in the end? Yeah.
4-1 in the end, yeah. Would you believe it? I literally ranted as well on Twitter. You'd not think that the game ended up how it did. But no, I'm really pleased with the performance. It was a must-win game because obviously Liverpool dropped points today, and we do still have that game in hand. So every game is crucial that we get 3 points because look, mathematically top four, it's not impossible. So it can still
It's
be
not.
done. It's not, we've talked about it already. There's so many teams in and around it, and it just takes 3 games on the bounce, and you're back in it. Um, the lineup was interesting. I was glad to not see Eric Dyer start. For me, as much as I don't rate Sanchez, I just want to keep with the same centre back partnership because I think the changing it up all the time wasn't helping us. Um, Never pleased to see Winks in that midfield. Um, he drives me insane, that guy. I called him Harry Stinks because for me he's just sideways. He's just a disaster waiting to happen, basically. But the first half we obviously got a good goal. Kane and Bale, that link up there, I was gassed. Bale looks like he's back. I can't lie, he looks like he's back. Pleased with that. But again, the frustration with me this whole season has been we get the goal and then it just looks like we're happy to sit back, which of course is no surprise. You've got Jose Mourinho, that's what he does. I know that. But I just feel like we're not learning from it. You know, as much as Crystal Palace, we're much better than them. You're still inviting the pressure on and allowing them to get back into the game. And as Spurs fans, you just see that goal coming. I saw it coming. And Benteke of all
Mm.
people to get a header in like that, I was not happy after that first half, and I was expecting a reaction. And you have to say the boys, they pulled their socks up and they got the job done. Um, Kane, and brilliant, that goal from him. Honestly, like I
Brilliant
tweeted it
goal.
today. I feel so lucky as a Spurs fan to have him in our team because he's world class. He's world class. He's one of the best strikers in world football for me. Obviously,
Hmm.
he got 2 goals today, as did Bale. He was linking up with Bale as well. He got a nice header. So yeah, I was really pleased, and it's nice to see Gareth Bale playing with confidence and stepping up because how often do we say it's Kane and Son? Without Kane and Son, who else is picking up the pieces? Who else is putting in performances for us getting out of jail? And I think Gareth Bale, he's involved now, which is great. I do feel Son's a bit off it at the moment. Um, I I think he's contributing still with assists, but I'd like to see him get on the score sheet. But pleased, very very pleased with the performance, professional, and yeah, that's what you expect. That's what you expect. We're playing Crystal Palace. I think I've always said we've got the talent. It's just our defense that worries me. It's kind of like United. We desperately in the summer need to get some
Hmm.
centre backs in for sure. For sure. Sorry, was
Hundred
you going to
percent.
say something?
Would you say with
I'm ranting away
no?
as
I was
well.
saying no, no. It's fine. I was gonna say with Bell. I think he started in the hole today, didn't he?
Mm.
Do you think that's
Yeah,
where
yeah,
he
yeah.
needs to play now? Because even before he left, before he went to Madrid, that's where he done like most of his best work. So, do you think he should be playing 10 or on the wing?
Yeah, do you know what? Either or, but I do feel like Jose should be a bit more experimental with Gareth Bale. Try him in that number 10 position because I don't know. I did notice today, like Kane, he is dropping so deep, and
Yeah, I've
I
noticed.
sometimes feel like he's having to do so much for the team, and I want him to be up top. I want him to be in that penalty area. He's a striker at the end of the day. And I don't get me wrong, I'm loving the fact that he's contributing with assists. But yeah, I feel at times there's too much for him to do for us, and it would be nice to get enough. Like I say, it's great that Gareth Bale's able to contribute now for us, because we haven't seen it from him this season. I've said it, I've criticised him quite a lot. He's not shown us any bit of quality, but now he's starting to show us that he is still a very good player. Whether we renew whether we take him on a permanent remains to be seen. But if he continues the way he's going, maybe we'll keep him. Maybe we'll keep him.
Yeah.
But I also want to point out Reguilon as well. Like, I can't help but sing this guy's praises, because when he's not in the team and we've got Ben Davis, I just want to cry. Like, I just honestly, Ben Davis is awful left back, and
Ooh,
I don't
awful.
know. No, he's awful. He's absolutely
I
awful. For
think
me, do you know what it is? I think he's a
he's
squad
part of.
player. Go on.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what you
No,
were gonna
no. I
say?
feel like yeah. I think he's a squad player now, and I think he's
He's terrible.
just past his best now. But I think like a couple of years ago, he was good for you lot. But I think it was
How
one of them
old is he?
positions.
He's only 27, I think. He should still
Mate, to
be.
me, he plays like he's
No,
40
but
years
his legs.
old.
Yeah, his legs are kind of gone, and I think he's had a few big injuries, and they've kind of taken his toll on him. And he's never really the quickest either. But
Mm.
No, he's
like,
so slow,
yeah,
man.
but he's one of them. He can play in the back three as well, and
Yeah, he can, yeah.
he's like he's a sturdy player to have in the squad. But you did
Yeah,
need
he's
Reguilon, you did need a
reliable.
left back. Yeah, but
Oh,
it's the same.
we
It's
need it.
funny
But
though, because no, sorry, go on.
no, go on. No,
No,
go for it.
no, because I was gonna say that you lot still need. Maybe we'll get onto it like after this, but you lot still need the things that Pochettino wanted anyway. This is what he wanted. He wanted
I
a new
know.
back four. He wanted full backs and he wanted centre backs. That's what he wanted. That was the issue in the first place. That
Mm,
and
no,
it's not changed under Jose. And I think his style of football makes it even worse because he's not on the front foot and he likes to sit back. You can't sit back and soak up pressure with shit defenders. Like
that's
it
the
don't
thing. This is
work.
what I keep
And
saying. This is what I
this is
keep
what he was
saying to
doing.
people.
No, but this is what he was doing with us as well. Like he could do that at Inter Milan when you've got the best centre backs in Europe, and you could do that at Chelsea with Terry and Carvalho. But we've got Lindelof and like at the time we had Maguire and or Smalling
Eric
and
Bailly.
Lindelof and
Smalling, yeah.
Eric
Smalling.
Bailly and we don't have the defenders to sit in a low block and defend for 90 minutes and get a 1-0. Like we don't have that. We've got to
Exactly.
attack. The only chance, as you've seen this season with us, is if we just like try and score goals there. Because
But this is the thing, and this is my issue with Jose Mourinho. I know Spurs fans, they like to say I'm negative and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I just, for me, don't understand Jose Mourinho. I'd like to think he's an intelligent manager. Surely you just need to adapt and just work with what you've got. And like you say, I just
Mm.
think he doesn't have the personnel to play that way, sitting back. Our defense has been so bad this season. Like,
mm,
Sanchez, all right, he's had a couple decent games, but I'm not getting carried away because I've seen it before with these players. They have so many mistakes in them. It's untrue. I mean, Eric Dyer, he's cost us points this season. Sanchez,
He
Toby,
shouldn't
for
even be in
me,
centre back, should he? He shouldn't even
nah,
be in the defence,
nah,
Eric
nah.
Dial,
Eric Dyer's
at
not a
all.
centre back for
He's
me.
not a
He's
centre
not.
back, is
He's
he?
not a centre back
Mm.
at all.
he's
And
just a squad
obviously,
player.
yeah, pretty
Mm.
much. Pretty
Mm,
much. And obviously, Toby, I think he is our best centre back at the club, but even him, long term, he is getting on now. We need to think about
Mm.
replacing him at some point. Tanganga, I think he's a really good young player. I don't know why he doesn't get minutes. I'd actually play him at right back. I think he does all right there sometimes, better than Dorothy or Doherty, whatever his name is. I don't like to talk about him. And then Rodon's still young, so yeah, man, I'd love to get some centre backs in, because as you say, Poch wanted this rebuild from time. You saw that
mm,
interview with Gary Lineker. He said it, nice stadium, but we ain't got the furniture for it, and it's facts.
Mm.
It's facts, but our board, they frustrate me. They don't get us what we need, or they end up getting us what we need, but it's 2 or 3 seasons too late. That's the
yeah,
problem. That's the
yeah.
problem.
I think it's just I think all them teams chasing like Liverpool and City have the same problems. Like
Yeah.
it's either fullbacks or centre backs or a
Yeah.
goalkeeper.
That's the
And I
thing.
think
Yeah.
we're all in the
True,
same
man.
boat because
Mm.
Spurs don't need any attackers. They don't need
No.
any attacking midfielders. They don't need wingers. They've got centre mids. They've got everything in that area of the pitch. It's just at the back.
Mm.
Because even it's not even just the centre backs with you guys. I think like
The Reese as
O-
well, you know.
Yeah.
Picking up the pace.
Aurier is good going forward, but
Aurier.
he's
Mm.
such a casual. Like he's got
He is.
an error
Mistake
in him.
waiting to happen, that one.
Whether he's going to
Mm.
give away a free kick that leads to a goal, whether he gives away a
Mm.
pen,
Mm.
whether he's not tracking someone. Like, and Doherty hasn't. I was surprised about him because I thought that was going to be a good signing. Like, I thought, yeah, that he would do well, and he
I did
hasn't.
as well.
I thought he was
I
going
I
had
to do
don't.
high
well.
hopes, but he was a wing back. He was a wing back at Wolves. That's the
At
problem. But
Wolves. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we've even tried him at wing back, and he's just not kicked on. I don't know what it
No,
Jose
is.
doesn't trust him. You can tell Jose doesn't trust
Yeah.
him as well because
yeah,
Mm.
there's games where I've seen him and uh, the camera will pan to Jose and you can just see the distrust in
Yeah.
his face. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's going to be addressed. That's got to be addressed because I think that's been a void in Spurs squad for a very long time.
Yeah, because we had
And yeah,
Danny Rose and Walker, like back
that's
in our
it, man.
heyday, we had those
yeah.
Yeah,
two
yeah.
pacey fullbacks, We've not
Mm.
really replaced them properly since
No, and
then.
I
We
think
haven't.
that's I think that's where the problem lies. Is for you guys is that at the back
Mm,
purely. Like even Højbjerg was a great signing. He's come in, he hit the ground running, and
love him.
he's had a very good season. But I just think yeah, Rugiland's done really well, but
Well, he's on
whoever you
loan.
have,
This is the thing. He
and
might
he's
go
on loan
back
as
to
well.
Real
Yeah,
Madrid. I hope he
yeah.
don't.
And I think it's just the
I
rest of the
forgot
back.
about that.
Yeah, I think it's the rest of
Yeah.
the back four is just the rest of the problem really. And
Yeah, I do.
until
To be
that,
honest, I do think midfield is a bit of an issue for me though as well because if Højbjerg gets injured, I don't trust Winks and Sissoko. Like to me, we need to replace those two as well. Like they're not good enough. They're really not good enough. I think Sissoko, he's getting on now, he's in his 30s, and Winks, he's another one for me. As I said it before, sideways,
but
and I think go on.
what don't you like about Winks? Because no, I think Winks is
What is
alright.
there to
Like, but
like?
is he
What is there to
just
like?
what you think he's too safe?
Yeah, he's too safe. This is the exact thing with him. He's too safe. He doesn't like to take risks. I don't think he plays forward enough for me. And we've just seen him, calamity, man, calamity. Like I remember that West Ham game, the 3-3 this season. That third goal, he just needed to make a simple clearance, and he cost us. I've seen these little mistakes that he makes, and this is the problem. We have too many players in our team. All right, it's bad enough having one player that's got a mistake in them. We've got Winks, Aurier, Sissoko, Sanchez, Dye. It's too many. We have to move on from these players. But
Got to address that, man.
yeah, we do for sure, man.
What's your thoughts on Dele Alli? Because you always find some Spurs fans who love him and think he should be starting every game, and then you get some where who say you can see why Jose doesn't play him. What's your thoughts on
Yeah, do you
Dele?
know what? I can see both sides of Dele Alli. I'm kind of like in the middle because I think there was a decline with Dele under Poch. And when Jose has given him the opportunity, it's those little flicks that he doesn't like. He's called it out before. Sometimes Dele does slow the game down, and he doesn't do that hard work that Jose likes to see. But what has frustrated me with it is that when we were in a very bad rut, I'm seeing other players get in the game time, and you've got a player like Dele Alli who, regardless of his form, he is a very good player. He can score you goals, he can get you assists. So that was where my frustration was. But look, I think he's still got a lot of work to do. I think he's been playing some games recently. He's had a few good cameos, but I'm not going to get too carried away from about him. Um, I do think that maybe he should have gone on loan to PSG because I just
That's
felt that perhaps his relationship with Jose is broken down, but maybe they're on the way to repairing it. And look, it's down to Delhi. It's down to Delhi because, as I say, I'm on both sides with it. I did criticize Jose for not playing him, but then when he has played him, has he really torn up trees? Probably not. So
I
it's
think
down to him. It's down to him, I think. But I
I
rate
think
him.
Yeah, well, you know Theo, innit? I love Dele Alli. I think he's a
We love
serious
him.
player,
Same man, hundred
and
percent, man.
no,
Yeah.
he's sick,
Yeah.
man. And I think the problem with him, he was out of form on the
Mm.
Poch towards the end, but I think a lot of players were out of form towards the end of that
Yeah.
of end of Poch's reign. But look, do you know what the funny thing is? It's the same position. Wherever Jose is, he falls out with that type of player.
I
Like
know, all
an
the
attacking
time.
It's
midfielder, the
true,
number
actually.
10.
No, it's
He
true.
falls out
It's
with them
true.
at every
Mm,
single club, and he's always criticising their work rate. He's criticised
mm.
like what they're doing on the pitch, but it's his style of play that suffocates and kills those type of players. And then he puts
Yeah.
them under pressure. He puts them under pressure to perform. Then they don't perform. Then he boots them out the team. He will give them like half an hour. Then he'll criticise them for not doing it in that half an hour. And he puts loads of pressure on players like that to perform. And I think that's what the problem is
Mm.
because when he was playing like he's playing Ndombele in that position, and Ndombele was playing well. I like
Yeah.
him, but he can play deeper. And you play
Yeah, I
Deli
prefer him
there,
deeper, to be honest.
yeah. You play
Yeah.
him deeper and Deli there, and he'll do stuff
That's the
because
thing. That's the
the amount
thing.
of goals that Deli has scored, he can't all of a sudden be a shit player like what people are trying to say. Because you can't,
But
he didn't
even last
fluke.
season, this is the thing. But even last season, like that's the thing. I don't really know what happened between them two because there was the whole thing when Jose first came in. Your what did he say? Your twin brother or something along those lines. He loved
Yeah, you
Delhi,
don't.
and
Mm.
it's just
Yeah,
like, what happened, man? Like he actually scored, I think, something like 8 goals last season, which, to be fair, isn't too bad for a player that's
It's not
yeah,
bad
apparently
at all,
that's
man.
finished.
fine.
Like it's
There's
it's
nothing wrong with that.
decent.
Yeah,
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
And I
I'm
think
just, yeah. Go on. Sorry.
sorry to cut you. The only
No,
bad
it's
thing
cool.
I thought was horrible was when they blocked the loan to go PSG. I thought, why are you blocking this if you're not even going to play him?
This is the thing. I
Like, just
know.
let him
This is
go.
the thing.
If you're not gonna play him, then let
Wasn't
him
that
go
more
to
to do with?
PSG.
Wasn't that more to do with they wanted to bring someone in and they couldn't
They wanted
get someone in
Ericsson.
though? I
Can you
think.
believe that? We wanted
But yeah,
Yeah,
Ericsson.
yeah,
like,
they
do,
wanted
do you get what I
Ericsson.
mean? But like,
It didn't make
they,
sense though, but I get
but they
why they
wanted,
blocked it as well.
but they wanted cover for someone that they wasn't using.
Yeah,
Nah,
Like
exactly. It
no,
makes
no.
no
that,
sense.
like
I'm
it
with
never
you.
made
But
any sense. So
like you said, the chairman. Got to
That's
go back to
yeah.
the chairman, man.
But this is
yeah,
the
but
thing with Levy. As much as I don't like Daniel Levy and how he operates. If it wasn't for him, the likes of Tongi wouldn't have stayed, and Delhi, to be fair, because he likes
Mm.
Delhi, and I think he probably put his foot down on it. I know,
mm,
obviously, like I said, we wanted Ericsson, and I think that was a big part in it. We needed a replacement, but it's the whole thing, like you say, it's just silly. Like we've got the player right there. I just think Jose needs to work with him and build his confidence up because there has been times where he has given Delhi opportunities and I felt that he's looked decent and he'll hook him off at half time and it's just it's not nice. It's never good for a player
it's
when anyway.
I can see it's just because obviously, like we all support teams that Jose's managed, and he's done this to players at
All
United,
the
and
time.
he's done it at Chelsea as well. Where
And Chelsea as well. Yeah, yeah.
I think the game where Delhi played well in, I think he played well in a lot of the Europa League games, and he's
Yeah, FA
played well
Cup
in
as
some of the
well.
FA Cup
Yeah.
games. And I remember,
Yeah, he had
he,
a good game against Marine.
Marine,
yeah, and I
that was
obviously
it, and
look,
he took him off.
Mm.
Marine, yeah, I know they're non-league, but he played well in that game, and then he's hooked him, and it's like he hooked him as if like he's having a bad game, and
Like
it's
a
like,
shit game. It's the
yeah,
way
he
that he
did,
does things like that,
yeah.
almost to boost his own ego, like Jose's
Mm.
ego, and to say, I'm the boss, this is what I'm doing.
Oh, can't
And like
And
you
stand
said
him.
it's
before,
like
there's
the
moments,
period. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, there's moments where, like you said, when he brings players off, or sorry, brings players on and expects them to pull up trees, like you said, Tanya, as well, to change the game, or there's 20 minutes to go and you expect something out of that, and that's not how certain players work. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you said as well, Jesse, the style of football that Jose plays and the way that it kind of stifles those kind of players in that position as well. Like you can't expect
Always
miracles in 20 minutes.
no.
Do you know what I mean? It
And
doesn't work like that in football.
I just think the funny thing with him is just it's just he's got the same patterns at wherever club he goes to. So
Mm.
that player, say Delhi could do well, he could get an assist or he can get a goal. Then, but when the person interview him after the game highlights it, he starts talking about the team, and it's like I don't like to talk
Yeah.
about individuals, and it's like you can talk about individuals if it's praise. and it's your own
That's
players. You're allowed. It's
he
okay.
he he
Like
sucks the life out of players, Jose. He does, and that's
100%.
why I was never a fan of him being appointed in the first place. I had massive,
I
massive
was gonna ask that
reservations.
actually.
You was
I was
you?
gonna ask. Yeah, yeah. So what did you think Poch needed to go though, or would
Do you know
you
what?
give him more time?
I'm not going to be a hypocrite, yeah. I can't lie. I did say I think it's run its course with Poch
Mm.
because the results, like, they just weren't getting any better. And
Mhm.
but I feel like there was other factors in that because, as we know, Poch never got the backing that for me Jose has got. Jose has been heavily
100%.
backed, and people forget that. Where's all these? Where was Gareth
Where
Bale,
was the peace?
Vinicius,
Yeah.
all of these?
The
Yeah,
monies
where
was
was all
not
of this
The
running
money
month
when
for
Poch
they
was
Poch.
got rid of
there?
Poch, and
Poch
then
was
the wallet just opened,
the
didn't
man.
it?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
guy that got us top four season after season, got us to a Champions League final, and after that
Mm.
final, you didn't back him. So I was gutted that he got the sack, but as I say, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say I didn't see it coming. But now
Mm.
looking at it, I'm thinking, God, I'd take him back in a heartbeat. I would. Because for me, as I say, I was never a fan of Jose being appointed. I feel like him working with Daniel Levy, the way our club operates, he's historically a manager that likes to be backed heavily. We're a club that doesn't do that. So I thought that's a recipe for disaster. I don't see how that's going to work. And then obviously how things did end at Man United, I just thought to myself, he's a finished manager. He falls out with players. I personally just didn't want that at our club, but was willing
Mm.
to give him the opportunity, the benefit of the doubt. Thought maybe he might have learned, he might adapt, and of course, like you say, we're seeing the same patterns, same boring football that this season. I know people have the argument, oh, what is he supposed to do? He's got the bad players, but no one was
No,
criticizing the players when we were top of the league. It's
no.
his approach. It doesn't help things, and
Mm,
it's
it's
not
true.
even just his tactics. Is his coaching skills. He's got poor man management skills, like we've already spoken about. Don't like the way he's treated Dele Alli. Keeps picking players that constantly make mistakes. Like for me, Dyer. All of a sudden, the pennies dropped with Dyer. Dyer should never be playing. Like these are the things with him that I just
It's facts, man. It's
I
facts.
can't I can't stand. And that bad run, okay, he's lucky that now we've got an easy run of fixtures. We've had Fulham, tonight we've beaten Crystal Palace. He's lucky. I think if we had more big games, I think he probably would have been given the sack. Who knows? Because before that, I'm telling you, I was definitely Jose out. I still am, but I'm willing to change my mind slightly if he does get us that Europa League. Because let's be honest, he will
I was
be.
gonna.
Yeah, go on.
Mm.
You're gonna ask me that. I'm jumping the
Yeah.
gun,
No, I
aren't
was
I?
gonna. I was. No, no, I was gonna talk about that because there's still a Carling Cup. There's still the Carabao Cup final,
I know,
and
Mm.
mad.
obviously the Europa League, and you're in the race for the top four. So
Yeah,
there's still potential that there's a top four finish and two trophies, which would be the first in over a decade. So
And
yeah,
that's not impossible for Jose to get that as well, because he is the guy that likes to win trophies, and he like I said, he churns out these results, and he can do that as
because it was
well.
like
yeah.
it's like when he came to us, like the football's dreadful every week, isn't it? But then
So bad.
that Europa League felt good. So I'm not gonna lie, do you know what I mean? At the time,
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
kind of you forget for a little bit when you lift the trophy, innit? Like I'll be honest, but
Mm.
apart from that, it was dreadful, man. The football was crap to watch for us, and it was the same problems. But I think the main thing was because the football's crap with United now. It's not like it's changed, but I think the difference is that Oli, even though I don't rate him as a manager, he all the players are playing for him. Like his
Exactly.
man
Yeah.
management must be very good. He's got good relationships with the players. He
Mm,
communicates with them. He doesn't really throw them under the bus. He
no.
treats them with respect, and I think that's the difference. That's why I can kind of tolerate Oli, whereas Jose
Mm,
was just like, oh, there was a game. I can't remember who he lost to. I think it might have been Brighton, and he's played Rashford and Martial instead of playing Lukaku, and then they didn't do the business in that game, and he's like, "Oh, see, this is why everyone asks me to play
oh,
these guys. Then when I play them, they don't do the business." And it's like you can't talk about your players
yeah.
like this.
You
And he
can't.
does.
You
I've
can't.
seen him. He's doing
That's
this at Spurs
that's
now.
Jose all over.
He
That
is.
is what Jose does all over. He done it when he was at, I think, every club he's been to,
Mm,
probably bar Porto,
yeah,
maybe even Porto, but He does that, man. When things stop going his way, it's everything goes out the pram and everyone's thrown under the bus, and it's all well. You both must remember the Sky Sports Goals on Sunday interview that he did after I think it was a Burnley game at Chelsea, against Chelsea, and he was what's his name, the guy that does like the Good Morning Britain thing, Ben Shepherd was on there with Cammy, and he just lost it. Do you know what I mean? And that was the first time I think he lost it in public, and he's never been the same since. Do you know what I mean? For me, anyway, he's always had that kind of meltdown moments. Um,
He brings it on
but yeah,
himself,
he's
man. I just feel like he doesn't help
literally.
himself. He really, really doesn't. And
I th-
my worry with Jose is we're in a situation where I do think we need a rebuild, and I just don't think he's the man for that job. I really don't. And look, I don't know if we'll sack him. I personally would consider it still, even if he wins us a trophy. I know that sounds mad, but I
No, no.
just, for
You
me,
talk to a Chelsea fan, it doesn't.
I know it sounds mad, it does, but for me, the football, I sometimes feel like it's not worth it. It's worth it if you win a trophy. Brilliant. See you later, mate. For me, that's what you've come here to do, win us a trophy. I don't see why we need to keep it because, as I say, we need a massive rebuild, and he ain't that sort of manager, is he? I just feel like Jose, just give him a team that's already sorted, and he's gonna get backed. He'll
Ready-made
be
teams.
fine. Ready-made teams, like.
Mm,
I don't know, man.
mm.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, he wins us a trophy. Not too confident about it. Looking at that League Cup final against City, I don't know, man. I don't know.
it's a one-off game, man. He could stink the
One-off
place out and
game.
get
Anything can
and
happen, man.
stink the
Yeah, it's
place out. A little
true.
Harry Kane goal, it could be
Yeah,
done. Like
yeah.
but I think
Gareth Bale
Fact.
steps up again.
there's nothing to rule out at
Come
the
on.
moment as well because
Mm.
whoever's left in Europa League, I think on the night you can beat anyone that's still in the competition, including us as well. So don't even know. We don't even know what's going to happen yet. And if he does win one of those trophies, you've got him next season 100%. Like he's
I
still going
know
to
we
be there,
have.
isn't it? Like
I
you have to be
know.
honest. That's the honesty, isn't it?
I
Like
know.
he still will be there. But I think that's just the problem with Jose. What is hard to tolerate with him is that like it's a style of play, but it's also how he is as well as a person. That's why it's
Yeah,
hard to deal with.
yeah.
And
Mm,
like I said in it, when he's at United, I think obviously the football was dreadful, but it's just the way he was just dashing man under the bus every week and the way he talks
mm,
about the players. And I mean, even in his last season, he wanted centre backs, and granted, we needed them, but it's like you didn't get them, so you've got to work with
get
what
on
you
with
got
it.
in it. Like, try and fill these men with
Yeah.
a little bit of confidence. We know this shit. We all know that we need centre backs too, but like every time we're losing a game, I remember we lost to Juventus at Old Trafford, and he come in the press conference and he was talking about Chiellini and Bonucci. They're great centre backs. That's what happens when you have good centre backs. I'm thinking
Oh
like
my God,
this
serious,
guy,
man.
yeah, yeah,
But
and I
this is
think
the thing. I don't get. This is why I don't get the appointment in the first place because
Doesn't make sense.
He's never gonna get that back in at Spurs. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just not
Mm,
gonna get what he wants because we've seen it with Poch. Like, but I
mm.
think he has been backed, and for me, he's just not cut it. Like he can't even get us top four. And
do you know what I
some
think it
Spurs
was
fans
though?
say, "What gives you the right to be in top four?" And it's just like, come on, man. Like we're I don't know if we're still eighth, but we're better than that. We're much better than that. And I'm not saying he's fully to blame over everything, but I think he does have to take like 60% of it for sure.
No, definitely, definitely.
Anyway,
What
sorry, Jose gets me
what's your
mad, you know.
no, 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 that's cool, man. That's what we like on here, man. But what's your thoughts on, is it next Sunday you got Arsenal North London derby,
Oh
big
man.
game.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's just bragging rights, isn't it? Let's be honest. Like, it means nothing in terms of the table. Like, it doesn't mean that if we beat them, we get top four and vice versa. It's just, bragging rights.
It's
I'd
more
love
of
to
an
beat.
important game for Spurs though, I think. I think Spurs need
Yeah,
that too, because I think you're six now, you've jumped up, you've overtook
yeah,
Liverpool. I think Liverpool are
yeah.
eighth now, so you win that's another step into the top four, whereas Arsenal, let's be honest, they're gonna struggle to get top four now, I think. So it's more
Oh
of
yeah.
a
We
the
don't need to worry about
incentives for
them.
Spurs, isn't it? Mm.
No, obviously North London derby, anything can happen. The only thing that concerns me is that I do feel like when we did beat them already this season 2-0, I think it is a different Arsenal. because look, let's be honest, their last game, the Burnley game, I think decisions didn't go their way and whatnot, and I do feel like Arteta's
Definitely not.
definitely turned a corner with Arsenal, in my opinion.
No, I
Bringing
agree.
in
I
the likes
agree.
of Emil Smith Rowe,
Hmm.
he's done well. He's done well. I have to give him credit. But I do still think we've got more than enough to beat them. I hope we beat them anyway, because I can't. When we lose against Arsenal, you just don't hear the last of it, do you? You know, you're gonna get it all from then. Oh, we're the best team in North London. It's like, come on now, let's be real. Obviously, overall, they are better than us. No one's denying that. But past 4 or 5 years, absolutely no
Mm.
way, no
They've
way.
had
But
nowhere
they'll
Previously,
never
near
the
it.
admit
tables are
that.
turned.
Some of them don't want to
Mm.
admit that, but it's facts. I don't care what they say. We'll see what happens with that game anyway. I'm not fully confident. I'm not gonna lie. I get this fit because we've done quite well in North London derbies, and I just feel like it's gonna get to a point
Mm.
where they're gonna get one over us. I don't know why. I get a bad feeling, but fingers crossed we win anyway.
But so obviously we just spoke about Europa League,
Yep.
the, the Carabao Cup, and the top four. If you so a bad season would be not getting top four, not winning a
Mm,
trophy, yeah.
yeah.
And if that
100%.
happens, do you think you're keeping Harry Kane? Because like we just
Mm,
said at the start before,
Mm.
like I was saying to Theo before you came on, I think he's one of the best
mm,
strikers in Europe right now. I think apart from it's only him and Lewandowski, maybe
mm,
Haaland as well, yeah, as like number
mm.
nines. Do you really think you can keep a hold of him again with no trophies and no Champions League football?
I don't think so, personally. I know there was rumours that no team is going to be able to afford Harry Kane because of the COVID climate and everything else. But from a personal point of view, I wouldn't want him to stay. I think he's been such a loyal player to us for so many years now, and I think he deserves to win trophies. We can't keep calling him this world class striker and he hasn't got the trophies behind him, because he deserves it. And I
Not like
would
Alan Shearer.
personally, yeah, I'd personally feel no way about him leaving. It would obviously break my heart, but let's be real about it. Tottenham aren't winning a Premier League anytime soon, Champions League, and for me, they're the sorts of trophies that this player should be winning. Like, even if we do win a League
Mm.
Cup, yeah, people are saying, "Oh yeah, he'll defo stay," but I'm thinking like League Cup. I don't get me wrong, Tottenham can't complain. I'm not saying that, but from a player, I think Harry Kane should be saying, "I've won Champions Leagues, I've won Premier Leagues, not a League Cup." Do you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
for me, I don't see him staying. I'll be honest, I don't. I've always said I can see him going City, somewhere like that. I think he'd be perfect there. Can you imagine?
They
It's
need a
curtains
striker as well.
if he goes City, man. It's curtains. But yeah, I can't see him staying.
Because
I
he can play
can't.
that way as well.
But as I say,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
only
that
thing is,
suits City.
I don't know who can afford him. I mean, City probably, PSG maybe. I don't know who else can afford him, because I'm telling you, knowing Daniel Levy, he's gonna charge, he's gonna demand a lot of money for him, like 100 mil, probably over 100
I
mil.
think no, see, didn't we? I definitely saw 150.
Yeah, 150. Yeah, there
I,
you
I think
go.
yeah, I think someone's gonna have to.
Yeah.
I think whoever buys him, if he moves
Gonna have to
on,
be smoking something mad
the
to be
whole
signing
bag.
him.
Yeah,
But
they're
because
gonna have
he's,
to
do
spend
you
the
know what,
whole bag on him because
he's worth
he's.
150.
But I was
Yeah,
gonna say that
He's
I'd
worth
he
pay
it.
is.
that. Yeah,
He's
I'd
He's
worth
pay
it,
it
worth
man.
it. But boy, that's a
because
lot of money, man.
That's what I'm
you have
saying.
to
You have
look at
to
his
look at
output.
that.
You have to look at his
Yeah,
output, and I said this to you before.
you-
You look at his output. He gets injured every season as well, and he still
Exactly.
scores that amount of goals. That's madness.
yeah, it's true, man.
But we have to
He's
see. We have
Trust
to
no
see what
unbelievable.
lie, man.
happens.
He's
Yeah, we have to see what
unbelievable.
happens.
But as I say, I do want him to win trophies, because I do feel like, unfortunately, he won't be put in the same brackets as your world class strikers because he hasn't won those trophies. And I just feel like the minute he does that, he's up there for me, like top world class
He's
striker in the
got to be.
world.
He's got
Like,
to
He
be.
is. He is.
he's
He's
unreal,
got
man.
to
He's
be, man.
unreal. We don't deserve him at times. Sometimes when we lose the games that we've lost, I'm just like, God, he's probably thinking like, what am I doing here? Do you know what I mean? Same players making mistakes, costing us. When are we actually gonna get to that next level? And yeah, man, I don't know.
I think. Yeah, I think there was like murmurs last season, wasn't there? Like when we was in lockdown, the first lockdown. I remember he did an
Mm,
interview, or it
Yeah.
was a live. Was it Instagram live?
Yeah, I
And he
think
was
so.
talking
Yeah.
about like wanting to win trophies and all that type of stuff. And it kind of sounded. He didn't say he's going to leave or anything like that, but like
The thought
he's
was there though. The
yeah,
thought
he wants to
process
win
was
stuff.
ticking
I
away.
don't think he's a
Of
man
course he
that's just
does.
going to be. I don't see him as a man that's just content with being top Premier League goal
No.
scorer or being Tottenham's top goal scorer. I think
No way.
he wants to lift trophies, isn't it? So yeah,
Mm.
we'll have to
But
see.
my thing is though, who do we replace him with? Because when you got a player like that, he's irreplaceable. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't know who we would get in, and I don't trust this board when we make these big transfers. You look at what we did with the Bale money. Goodness me, like I don't trust our
Squandered it,
board to
man.
replace well. So that would be interesting. Probably get like a Danny Ings or a Calvert Lewin knowing us. That's probably who we get to replace him.
Calvert-Lewin's not a bad shout, man.
They're
He's
both
not a Harry Kane,
they're
but
good
He's
he's
not Harry
strikers,
Kane
but
though.
yeah, man.
no one is
Nah,
Kane
but
though,
he's
innit?
still
Like,
I know it's true. No one is Kane. Yeah.
but we have to see. Might not happen, but you
I
never
don't
know.
think it'll come to that. I think even if um you get the trophy, you beat City. I still think that, like you said earlier, that the fourth kind of top four, the last fourth place in the league, that's still open. That could be anyone's,
Definitely,
and
Mm.
or even the it's not really
all of
third
it,
isn't guaranteed. Do you know what I mean?
all
Yeah,
it.
like
No,
no.
Bar
Let's be honest. First and
Bar
second
City.
sorted.
Yeah, I think so.
No,
That's
Bar
it.
Come on,
City.
let's come on.
Bar City. Everything's open right now. You never know. We just drew in
Nah,
Palace a couple of days ago. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and we drew
you got a
West Brom
big
as
gap
well.
though. The gap's too big. I think
Mm.
you're well
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
ahead.
only
think
Like you're
it's
6 points
like 12
now.
points above us.
Nah, is it?
yeah,
No,
nah. I
you're
think
not. I
yeah.
swear that you are. You're quite far ahead.
Right.
So yeah,
You'd
like
have to
United are on
seriously bottle
54.
it.
Yeah, Spurs are on 45, and
Ah, okay,
Leicester.
cool. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's
see?
two
Come on
places.
now.
so
Yeah,
No, there's a
see?
check.
yeah.
Changing
There's a
tune
Listen,
check.
now.
No, I just checked the table, but no, we'll be comfortable. But it's open, man. We have to see what happens. But I
yeah,
think the one
so
thing that would have to change during some of these big games was today was obviously a rare one for the big games, but a lot of them have just been 0-0s. No one's taking
Yeah.
risk.
mm,
Everyone's being cautious. Like
Mm,
people are actually gonna have to go for these games now
yeah. I think
because
it's
they're
the
gonna.
fans. It's the fans. Like we forget no fans in stadiums. I think it's a big miss. There's sometimes
Yeah,
like
definitely.
yeah,
a
100%.
like a 12th man at times. The fans they can just change the whole game for some teams. And I feel like West Ham, for example. How do we know that no fans is giving them confidence? Like they feel like a new team. Do you know what I mean? I think
Mm.
that's why we're seeing weird results. Teams that are
100%.
usually in the top four, not usually there. I don't know. I
But
think we need fans back.
I think West Ham are one of the teams, yeah, that are benefiting from no fans
Yeah,
because
trust me, they
Yeah, because the
are.
fans
their
get on them, innit?
if their fans was in the stadium, they would not be where they are in the league right now.
Nah,
100%,
no
no
way, no
chance.
way.
Not with the way that they are.
I think that about Liverpool, though. I think that about
And
Liverpool as well.
Liverpool, they
But
benefit
Liverpool
with
will be
fans.
higher up the league, yeah, and West
Yeah,
Ham
they
I
would
think would
be.
be a bit
Yeah,
lower based on if their
bit
fans were in the
lower.
stadium. But I think that with some players as well. There's some players I look at and think, are they
Mm,
having this season of their life because there's no pressure?
There's no one
I
giving
think
them
so.
shit
Because
in the
there's a
crowd.
lot of players that have been like, bro, like quite a few of them that are playing really well now that there's no fans in the stadium. But we have to see when everyone's back
Yeah,
if they maintain that level of performance in it. But we have to
it'd be
see, man.
weird. Yeah,
Yes,
man,
because
defo.
the last game of the season is going to have fans back.
Is it?
So yeah,
Do you know
made
who
it.
For
the
sure.
last game for Spurs? I'm sure it's Leicester as well, isn't it?
I
Oh
think so.
God.
Because I know David
I'm
Moyes was
sure it's Leicester.
complaining about it because he was saying that he thinks that it's unfair that just the last round of games are going to have fans, and he thinks that there should be the last two games so
Yeah.
everyone can have a home and away with their fans. But
Yeah, I think
Forget all
that's
that,
he's
man.
got a point there. He's got a point, but I don't care
The
anyway.
season will be
So
done by then, man. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
I think by then, I think the season will be wrapped. Maybe not the bottom half because I think the relegation thing's going to be more of an interesting finish. But I think the top four by then,
nah, top
he'll be
four is
like
going down
no.
to the
ninth or
Top
tenth
wire.
four,
anyway.
top four will go down
You
to the
reckon?
last day of the season,
Yeah.
like last year. Yeah,
Facts.
100%.
Right,
It
okay.
went down to the
You
wire
reckon?
last season, and it will this
Mm,
season. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
I
You
think it'll be
because
wrapped up, man.
everyone's taking points off each
And
other
David
and
Moyes
lose.
hasn't got nothing to worry about anyway. David Moyes, he'll be out of the running anyway. So what does it matter?
You think? I
West
don't
Ham won't
know,
be there.
man.
Yeah,
No, they'll
West Ham
still
won't
be
be there.
there. I think they'll still be up there. Like
Nah, man. Nah.
Nah,
they've
West Ham are good because even
they've
against
beaten
City,
good teams. Yeah,
they were pretty good against City. I
yeah.
can't like they
They
gave
beat
them a game.
and they beat Spurs, didn't they?
Can't give
Yeah.
Daily
We
points
don't
for
Yeah.
need to
that,
talk
man.
about that. Yeah.
And they beat teams that they've beaten some of the teams around them, so they'll be up there. And I think when they got Antonio up front on his day, I don't think people can really handle that. Do you know what I mean? So they'll be
The
Yeah,
only
about.
he's a good
thing,
player, man. He's a good player.
have you not still got to play top six teams? Because I feel like we've only
Yeah,
got,
we
I
have.
think City,
Mm.
we've got United and I think Leicester to play. Because I think we've played City twice, Chelsea twice now. We've got Arsenal obviously, and then I think we've already played Liverpool twice. So it just depends on that as well. If you've still got the big six to play coming
So
towards the end,
we've got West Ham
interesting.
still to play, which they're top six right now. So we got them.
Oh,
We got to
okay.
play. We got to play Leicester. Still got
Yeah,
to
we've
play
got to play them
Liverpool,
again.
and we still got to play you. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, we
Cool.
got loads of big games.
Yeah,
I think we still
we
got to
got
play
some big
Wolves as
games.
well.
Yeah, we still
Wolves.
Still
got
got
City,
because you got
City
to
and
count
Arsenal.
Wolves ain't top six, but Wolves are a
Mm,
team that can take points off everyone. So
true. True.
it's a jammy
Mm.
game. So yeah,
Mm.
some
No,
tough
I think we've
ones.
got
And
some
then
as well. I think
also,
we got
like
City, Leicester as well, Villa.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
okay.
like I said last week, man, we're all still in Europe. I think that's a factor too. And I feel
Mm,
like
yeah.
when
Priorities
you
Isn't
get
might
it? Isn't
further,
it? Because some
when
squads
it
can
becomes
cope with that.
yeah, I
Mm.
don't like we can't. I don't think we can't rotate too much. We will
You
feel it if we
can,
rotate.
man.
No. We can't. Trust me, we can't. I seen when
Who have you
we
got? Who have you
just
got?
AC Milan.
Oh, I'm so glad
Yeah,
about that draw.
we got
Two
AC
big
Milan.
hitters are
That's a
gonna
mad
go.
game. Yeah, yeah, it's a big game.
Can't
So we
wait.
can't really rotate, and
Jesus,
we seen it in the FA Cup
that's
when we beat West Ham in extra time. It's because we rotated the team, and as soon as we rotate,
Mm,
yeah, it's just curtains, man.
throws everything off.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So we have to
AC
see.
Milan, man, big
Yeah,
game.
big
jeez,
game,
that
isn't it?
that was unlucky. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I was so happy we got what is it, Dynamo Zagreb or something? I don't even know. I
Yeah,
can't even pronounce their name. We got a good
Don't
draw
say
to be
that because
fair.
they might turn up.
yeah.
I'm praying.
But
No,
no,
anyone could turn up against us.
our one's gonna be tough. It's a tough game, but I think we should beat them. To be
Mm,
Mm.
honest,
man
we
like
should beat them.
Ibrahimovic though, come back.
Yeah,
Yeah, Zlatan
it's an
finna
old
turn
man,
up,
isn't it?
man.
It's an old man.
Listen,
But he's
you
played
two
well
are
this
moving
season.
mad
He has
right
been
now
playing well
because
this season.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you
Yeah,
said that
yeah.
at the end, then, because you know he's gonna score in it.
Yeah, come on.
He's gonna
Yeah,
score, man.
yeah, yeah. And do something about the lion, and he winds me up as well.
Yeah,
Mm,
But
man.
yeah,
no, we'll
he
see,
was
man.
me.
It'll be a good game.
Definitely interesting
Just,
season, man.
just try.
See,
Hmm.
see what happens.
Yeah, man.
But
But I was gonna say, man, you can follow us on the PTTW podcast on Instagram, Twitter. Um, yeah, we haven't got any other socials, have we, man? Just trying to think.
no, it's just those at the moment.
Got the YouTube, man. We got the YouTube up and running now as well. At last.
Yeah,
Hey,
Yeah, man. Another one in the thing there. We can, yeah,
yeah. And
man.
just obviously we're on Spotify, Apple Music, so give us a follow, subscribe, and let us know your
And
thoughts
it
on
was good
Twitter, man.
having
If
our.
you no, go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say, man, it was good having our guest on as well today as well.
oh no,
So
thanks for
thanks for
having me,
joining us
boys.
because we
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate
it's
that.
thanks
been
for
really
coming on.
good.
Yeah.
It's been really
Yeah,
good. I feel like it's been longer than expected. That might be my fault because I'm always
No,
ranting
no, no.
about Spurs,
This is
no,
what we always do. We say it's gonna be 40 minutes and then we run
and
over to like nearly
that's
an
yeah.
like,
It's
hour and a
oh
normal
half.
time.
god,
It's all
yeah.
good, man. It's all good, man.
Oh,
Much appreciated
good.
for
Yeah, it's
coming
calm,
on.
man.
No worries. Anytime, anytime.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool, man. Appreciate that.